Mr. Arvizu, if you want to sit down, you're welcome to do that. You don't have to stand.
We're live, Judge.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to County Court Law number 6 and the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court via Zoom remote hearings. Today we have cause number 621534, style State of Texas versus Jessica Nohemi Arvizu Mesa, as represented by attorney Kyle Simpson. Representing the state is Assistant Criminal District Attorney Nick Maru. And correct me if I'm wrong, I see the offense listed as misrepresentation of age by a minor. Is that a Class C in and of itself, or does the state have to make a motion to lower that?
Yes, Judge, I'm going to have to make a motion.
Okay, when we get to that point, we'll do that.
All right.
It is a Class C, though, by itself under the Alcoholic Beverage Code, but I understand they're going to make a motion also.
Okay. Anyway, Miss Nohemi Arvizu Mesa, I'm looking at actually at this time 2 documents that allegedly have been signed by both you and your attorney. The first one is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, and the second one is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Did you sign both of these documents, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Simpson is attorney for Ms. Arvizu. Did you sign these documents, sir?
I did, Your Honor.
And state at this time, go ahead and make your motion.
Yes, Judge. State moves to amend the information to include a count 2 misrepresentation of age by a minor. Proceed on that count 2 and waive count 1.
No objection.
And what technically right now is count 1?
Count 1 right now is technically theft of a driver's license / ID.
Gotcha. Next motion to amend the information and add paragraph 2 alleging the Class C offense of misrepresentation of age by a minor. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Granted. And then state's motion to waive count 1 at this time. No objection from the defense is also granted.
Judge, just real quick,
Sure.
because I think we are going to try to get an expunction of the original charge. So I think they're essentially, if we could get it to where they're dismissing that outright, not taken in consideration, if we could do that on the record.
So
Are you talking about waiving count 1?
Waiving
no, I
against-
think he's talking about because, Judge, I'm going to be TICing another.
Case, is that correct?
Well, I don't think they're, and this is all, like I said, this is all unfolded in less than 24 hours here. And so I don't think they're actually TICing the felony. They're going to be dismissing that outright because it was incorrectly charged from the outset.
Let me back up, but you're losing me. Where is there a felony? I see 2 cause numbers, 621534 and 61535, both alleging theft of driver's license or personal identification. Is that a felony?
No, Judge. So what happened was there is another felony that is technically called forging a government instrument that was also included.
Okay.
And so my understanding of the deal, and I know that Nick and I have been doing this quickly, but because the reason why they're proceeding as a Class C is because the other 2 cases were incorrectly charged to begin with. So my understanding is there's not going to be a TIC, because if they TIC it, then we're not going to be able to get an expunction on those charges. So they're going to be, under my understanding of the agreement, dismissing outright.
So I'll so for the other one, the cause number 621535, I'll put that in as created an error and not taken into consideration.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Okay, but as far as the state adding or amending the information and adding paragraph 2 and then waiving paragraph 1, that will work for you with regard to your expungement on that case, will it not?
I think as long as the record reflects that it's not taken into consideration and that it's being.
If she gets deferred on any Class C, she's eligible for expunction on that case. Is that not what the law is?
Yeah, on that case, but we have to be careful with
The second case, which I think is taken care of.
Okay, and Nick's going to dismiss that when he's going to reason that it was created in error is what the state's going to use to dismiss it. Is that not more or less accurate, Mr.
Correct.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Okay, so back on the case that we're dealing with at this time, about 61534, which was originally misrepresentation of age. I'm sorry, was originally
Theft of an ID, I believe.
ID, and then that has been waived, and we've amended the information to add misrepresentation of age by a minor. So that is our offense that we're dealing with at this time, right? Misrepresentation of age by a minor, Class C.
Correct.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Arvizu Mesa, I'm holding in front of you at this time a document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, ma'am, is that your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, Mr. Simpson, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Simpson, as attorney for Ms. Arvizu Mesa, have you had enough time to go over this case with her? And in your opinion, is she mentally competent?
Yes and yes.
Ms. Arvizu Mesa, are you a United States citizen, ma'am?
No.
Okay. If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a plea of guilty or nolo contendere for the offense charged may result in your deportation, your exclusion from admission to this country, or the denial of naturalization under federal law. Ms. Arvizu Mesa, have you discussed with your attorney and been made aware of the mentioned consequences? And are you still knowingly wanting to enter a plea to this offense?
Yes.
And Judge, just to add on that, my client does have an immigration attorney who has gone over that at length with her.
Okay, all good. Mr. Simpson, as attorney for Ms. Arvizu Mesa, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Arvizu Mesa, to the Class C offense of misrepresentation of age by a minor, how do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
Or accepts the plea of no contest. Is there an agreement in this case?
Yes, Judge. It's going to be 6 months deferred disposition, a $250 fine, 12 hours of community service, and an alcohol awareness class.
That is the agreement.
Okay. Ms. Arvizu Mesa, the court accepts your plea of no contest. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold the finding of guilt. Place you on 6 months deferred adjudication probation and sets a $250 fine plus court cost, 12 hours of community service, and assess an alcohol awareness course through the Community Alliance for Traffic Safety or any other provider that will teach that course for you. And as far as I'm concerned, she's eligible for early termination. Anything else we need to talk about?
Judge, the only thing that I was going to ask about is, I don't know how they're doing community service hours with all this COVID. Can she, or is she eligible to be able to do the San Antonio Food Bank for the 12 hours?
As far as I'm concerned, she can donate to a court charity. She can donate to the food bank, but I would rather her donate to a court charity, which are either Wounded Warrior organizations or family violence prevention organization.
Can she do that at the courthouse?
Pat has that contact information on the addresses on those locations and whatnot for her. But
Okay.
Special Operations Wounded Warriors is the name of one of them. And then
Your Honor, I can scan it and I can send it to Mr. Simpson. The only other question I have is, since it's a Class C, I don't know that probation supervises that. I don't know who does.
does not have to go to probation.
Right. So I think the way I've handled these in the past is that, so she has, my understanding is that she would have 6 months to come down and make the payment, make the court cost payment and the fine payment, provide proof that she made the donation or that she complied with the community service hours, and give certificate of completion, and then bring that to the court itself if we can. And then whenever she finishes that, it's early terminated.
I would say, Ms. Arvizu Mesa, you go directly to your attorney. Once you get these monies paid and you either donate money to a charity and come out of $120, I guess, $10 an hour for 12 hours, or perform 12 hours of community service, My understanding is that there are certain organizations that allow people to like answer the phone from home and they get credit for community service that way. Susan Gross would know all that stuff. And the alcohol awareness course, just look up Community Alliance for Traffic Safety and give them a call and they'll get you squared away on that. Any of this, if you can do that online, that'd be fine with me. You don't have to like go to an in-person class or something. But as soon as you get these things done, let your attorney know. And then Kyle, let's cut out the middleman. You just come straight to me. You've got my cell phone number. Just let me know what's going on. And
All
we'll
right.
get probation at the earliest possible time. Is that fair?
Perfect.
Okay, Your Honor, I believe that Your Honor, you just need to put on there unsupervised.
Correct. It's going to be unsupervised.
Thank you.
And I think she can come down to the courthouse in the basement, correct, and pay those fines and the court costs?
I believe so.
Okay.
Ms. Arvizo Maester, are we going to have any more problems, ma'am?
No.
Good answer. Boy, that's a sharp lawyer she got. They're all okay. You guys, good luck. That's all I need from you. I'm gonna send this in to my clerk to put on the computer, and we'll go from there, I guess.
Judge, real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just want to make sure, I think I forgot to include court costs in the plea. I know it's usually given, but I forgot to.
$250 plus court cost.
And then last thing is coding for the clerks. I didn't want there to be an issue later on. I couldn't actually find this code offense. I looked everywhere, but I found one very similar for the clerks that would make it easier for them to enter the system.
All right.
You want me to give that to you?
Please.
Okay, it's code 540489, and it's for possession of a fictitious license or certificate for a person under 21. It's the closest thing I could find.
And Mr. Simpson, is that okay with you?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, I'll make it happen. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye,
everybody,
Kyle.
for making this happen. I appreciate it. May we be excused?
You bet. And we can go